Did you know if you're taking the Apex challenge that if you have an equity curve like this, where you could easily pass the challenge, that if your drawdown intraday goes beyond the $2,500 limit for a 50K account right here, that you can still blow the account and not pass? I'll say that again. For the 50K account for Apex, if your account drops below $2,500 from the highest profit level that you reach, that you will blow the account. There have been, I'm going to show you several times where I've come very, very close intraday before the end of the day, where I was down 2,000, even 2,200, 1,000, but I was able to come back and end the day with a profit. And that's why you see my equity curve looking like this, because at the end of the day, I was able to profit, even though in the intraday, I was down. If you lock in losses intraday, even though the day's not over yet, if you sell some positions and you lock in, have a net loss, that will go against your drawdown. And from what I understand, you can never get it back. And I didn't know that. My trading strategy has to be adjusted, and I've got a plan. I'll share it with you. But I want to make sure you understand that the Apex 50K challenge, they all have a different drawdown limit. The trailing threshold is 2,500, and you cannot go lower than that. Every time you take some out of that, it never replenishes, it never comes back up. It just continues to stay at the lower level until you reach the $3,000 profit target. And again, no matter what your profit curve line end of day curve looks like, at the end of the day, this is what it looks like. If anything happens during the middle of the day, intraday, and you lock in losses, temporarily as it may be, your threshold will go down and stay down at that level. So we have to come up with a strategy that avoids that. And here's what I think I've come up with. First of all, I want to show you some of my drawdowns just to show you the point that I'm making here. Here's a particular day, which was yesterday, 4/15/24 on Monday, when the market reversed and crashed down. I was at a point where I was down about, let's see here, about $2,000. But I ended the day up $1,200. These are locked in profits from trades that I made, that I locked in the losses. This is not unrealized. In fact, my unrealized losses were a little bit more than that. These are realized losses from closing trades, right? And even though I ended the day with $1,000, let's just say I only have $500 left for the entire challenge, because I locked in the losses before the end of the day. It doesn't matter if this even went to 2,500. It doesn't matter how close you are to the $3,000 target. You now have lost $2,000 in your threshold, and you only have a $500 limit left before blowing the account. Okay, and you could see that over and over with my trading. Here's another day I was down almost $2,000, and I only lost about a couple hundred. And here's a day that was never really in the red, but this drawdown right here, however much that was, this went against my threshold and never recovered, even though I went back up over the top of it. If this was a drawdown of 300 and I made 400, because I locked in the profits as a loss, it'll go against your drawdown. Now, if you don't lock in the profits, say you have a drawdown and you do not sell, or you do not close the position, I don't think that goes against you. I know it doesn't at Top Step, because you didn't close the position. It's just unrealized. The unrealized losses do not count against you at Top Step. I don't know how that works with Apex, because I'm just starting. But this never went in the red, but I still had a drawdown, because the price that I had, where I was profitable, I lost some of my profits with some of the scalping techniques, even though it put me in a better position for a higher run up, which is what my strategy is. And at the end of the day, I made more money than I lost right here. I still took some of my drawdown out for that particular day. And it's getting lower and lower every single time until you blow the account. Okay, here's one day right here. This little bit of drawdown that happened took it away from my threshold. And even though I ended way up here, I never got this drawdown part back, right? And even right here on this high peak right here, there was some drawdown right here. So if you add this drawdown to this drawdown and put them together, you have a drawdown for even a day like this. And that's something that we need to be aware of. And I really wasn't aware of that until really taking a closer look. And I realize now that my strategy, even though it looks like this, right? Even though it looks like this at the end of day closings, could still blow the account, and I might not be able to pass it with this particular strategy. So I have to adjust my strategy, and this is what I've come up with. I'll show you. Okay, I got 2 Apex accounts on the top, and I got my 2 demo accounts. They're all 4 separate accounts. I'm testing the copier that we have. I haven't really copied and pasted my trades together yet because I just now took my very first trade on the actual Apex account. I made $7. I just wanted to see how it worked. I got to get my feet wet. It's so much more different when you're trading. It's an evaluation account, but it's leading me to real money. And I'm taking it much more serious than I was. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to get my feet wet. So what I'm doing is I'm trading my demo account still, and I'm buying it. And if it goes against me in a massive way, I'll use my same strategy that I have been. When it comes to it getting low enough, then I wait. This is what helps me wait to enter in the Apex accounts, because if this were to go really against me very far, then I would know I'm getting a better price for the real account. It helps because sometimes the market just slams down on you for no reason and you get a really good price. So I'm playing these 2 demo accounts like that. As you can see, let me show you what we're up right now so far for the whole day with everything. And that way we're up 150 in the one and 71 in the other, and only about 850 minus commissions on the other one. So I'm getting my feet wet. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to start, because my drawdowns are so big that I can't afford to trade that way on these accounts up here. These Apex accounts at the top, I can't do the same strategy. I just realized that, like last night when I was looking at everything. I can't have $2,000 drawdowns and then end up with a $500, $800 profit, even though it's great that I end these days with profits or a break even or very low. The drawdowns will blow your Apex accounts. So that's put a really big change on everything that I've been doing, complete and utter change on everything I've been doing. So now I've got to figure out how I'm going to start trading these Apex accounts without those big drawdowns. And this is one way, one solution. Wherever I enter in the trade, I have to close that same trade above the entry price. That way there'll never be a drawdown on it. Can I always do that? Probably not. Can I get close? Probably. Can I have a high percentage of those that actually work out that way? Yes, especially if I'm tricking myself by allowing my demo account to get in a position that might go against me. And then when it gets really far against me, I can go look at that price up here and say, hey, that's a much better price. Get in it up here with this account and pass the eval a much better without the extra drawdown. So I guess I'm using these to take the drawdown for me. I'm using the demo accounts to take the drawdown for me. Let me close this. That's plenty of profit.
Order filled.
I'm using the demo accounts to take the drawdown, and I'm getting in at those drawdown prices on the Apex accounts. Okay, these 2 right here. I haven't done the second one. I just put this first trade in just to get over the nerves of it. And I did it after this. Okay, I shorted up here. And when it came down here, I saw these candle formations. I said, let me try scalping that and see if I can get something to get my nerves, and I did, and it worked out. Of course, it could have been better. But the point is, you gotta get into these. When you start trading with higher levels and bigger money and bigger size and real money, it's a mental game, man. So anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. I'm using my demo accounts at the bottom to absorb a lot of the drawdown in my tradings, and then I'll enter in at those lower prices on the real Apex 50K accounts. I hope that makes sense.